skip Denver and Brooklyn just because I think if they had Joe Harris or Jamal Murray, they're completely different teams. So I think injuries held them back. Utah, man. So they're this now that they're out, this team is talking about being on the verge of being broken up. I mean, they're talking about breaking this team up and and maybe being a different look next year. For me, like they need a more explosive wing, right? Bogdanovich is special, man. He's a great player. He can defend, he can shoot, whatever. But you need a guy who can another guy who can, attack the basket. Man, they have Conley, but Conley has not been what he used to be, man. And it's too bad because I love Conley. He was like a little bit like a John Wall. He could do a little bit of everything. Defend, he could shoot the three, he could attack, whatever. He did.
Talking about back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm like,
right. It's two guys,
like what?
Two guys who both, you know what I mean, like never lived up to their full potential. You know what I mean? Like we never got to see
you ain't never lied about that. Never.
So maybe they go out and get a Bradley Beal or something. Like go out and get somebody explosive on the wing, right? Someone who's a 3-point threat, but also can put the ball on the floor, attack the basket, and I did think that leaving Gobert on the floor and having him guard who is guard Luka, having him guard Luka so many times was like, why is this mismatch happening? So I did think there were some coaching issues that were going on with Utah, but I think if they're not going to break up the team, if they really truly want to win and run it back, then I think they need to go get themselves a wing player who can, a dual threat. I was also going to say, Rudy Gobert also needs to get rid of his beef arm. I was going to put that out there. This dude showed up to the game today with a big old swollen nose because he got stung by a bee today because he just got stung on his beef arm. I was also going to say that too.
Why do you have a beef arm? Never.
He's in Utah, man. It's
you got money, you can buy stuff like that.
It's Utah, man.
Mike Tyson got a pigeon coop.
But yeah, the man showed up to the game today with a swollen face. So, I assume that didn't help. Maybe with his peripheral. Or being able to see, whatever, listen, man.
Well, you got shots, don't you?
I'm just saying, man. Like, get rid of the beef farm, or else hey, you know what? I'm just saying, put the helmet on game day. Put the helmet on so you ain't getting stung. That's all I'm saying.
Put the helmet on when you go to the beef farm.
I was just about to say, he's supposed to have like a suit or something. He's supposed to go into when you got a beef farm.
But I mean, sometime with them dudes, they be go in there.
This team was like second best in like 3-pointers made all season and then got outshot. I think Dallas made like 15 threes a game while they were only making 8 a game. And then we used to think of Utah as a defensive team, but like Jalen Brunson, they allowed themselves to lose this series. I mean, Jalen Brunson had 3 30-point games in his career. The dude averaged 32 for the first 3 games.
I'm going to actually go with the team in the West, but they're young, and that's the Pelicans. I think they got off to that rough start, starting the season like 1-12 or something crazy like that. But they did enough to get into the playoffs, and they did well, man. I mean, I think their only problem is they're young. I'm excited to see what they look like next year. If they can keep that team. If they can keep that team and keep those rookies and, everybody, do what they do, I don't see why they can't be dangerous. And then you add a person like Zion, hopefully he figures out, whatever he got to figure out. And, they should be a problem next year. I think if they can stay healthy, they can be what Memphis is this year. I think that can be New Orleans.
That's a big.
I think they're missing a defensive component that Memphis has, but I think offensively, they're competitively just right there.
Memphis got a defensive component?
Yeah, they can defend.
The whole team play defense for real, somewhere.
Have y'all been watching this series?
Yeah, I'll give you that. I give you that. I give you that
before.
But I mean that Karl Anthony Towns had like 2 games where he scored like 10 points.
Patrick Beverly done had like 23 times.
I agree. They give up. That's the thing is they give up a lot to like random players and and do well against the stars.
I'm like, when did Pat start hitting threes? But all right, I'll see you, Pat.
Yeah, he's been having himself a nice little series.
Yeah.